The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zeth-9 displayed the holographic readings from planet Aquatilis 7. The blue marble hung in the projection, its surface a swirling mass of azure and white. 93% water coverage with depths reaching over 11 kilometers in some trenches. "This world is a death trap," announced Counselor Vex-Hari, her chitinous exoskeleton clicking nervously. No rational species would attempt colonization. The pressure alone would crush any known vessel below 2 kilometers. The assembled representatives from 47 different species nodded in agreement. Throughout galactic history, water worlds had been marked as uninhabitable hazards, beautiful from orbit, lethal up close. Even the aquatic Murtani, who could breathe underwater, avoided deep ocean planets. The crushing depths, the unknown predators lurking in abyssal trenches, and the sheer impossibility of establishing infrastructure made such worlds galactic graveyards. "The survey data confirms massive tectonic activity," added Admiral Kretok, his scaled hands gesturing at the display. "Underwater volcanoes, crushing pressures exceeding 100 atmospheres at the deepest points, and thermal vents hot enough to melt most hull materials. This planet should be classified as a restricted zone." Then, Commander Sarah Chen of the Terran Expeditionary Fleet cleared her throat. The human stood barely 1.7 meters tall, dwarfed by most species in the chamber. But something in her posture made the room pay attention. "With respect, counselors," Sarah said, her voice carrying an odd confidence, "we'd like to request colonization rights to Aquatilis 7. The silence that followed was deafening. Several delegates began to make sounds that might have been laughter in their respective species. Counselor Vex-Hari's mandibles clicked in what the translation matrix interpreted as amusement. "Commander Chen," Zeth-9 said gently, "perhaps your translation software malfunctioned. This is a water world, 11 kilometers deep in places. The pressure would be roughly 1,100 times Earth's atmospheric pressure at sea level," Sarah interrupted. "We're aware." Dr. Yuki Nakamura, the expedition's chief biologist, stepped forward with a small device. "May I demonstrate something?" Before anyone could object, she activated a holographic display showing a peculiar sight. A human figure, wearing only a breathing apparatus and fins, swimming downward through dark blue water. The depth gauge in the corner read 214 meters. "This is freediving," Yuki explained. "One of our recreational activities. This particular human, Herbert Nitsch, dove to 214 meters on a single breath of air. No mechanical assistance, no pressure suit." The chamber erupted in confusion. The Velthari delegate made a sound like grinding metal. "Impossible. The pressure at that depth would collapse your primitive lungs." "Actually," Sarah smiled, "humans are remarkably adapted to pressure changes. Our lungs compress, our heart rate slows, blood shifts to our vital organs. It's called the mammalian dive response, evolution's gift from our aquatic ancestry." Admiral Kretok's scales rippled in agitation. "Even if your species can withstand some pressure, the deepest trenches exceed anything your biology could handle." "True," Sarah nodded, "but we didn't become the dominant species on Earth by accepting biological limitations." She gestured and another hologram appeared, a small spherical vessel with thick viewports. "This is Trieste, one of our early deep-sea vehicles. In 1960, over 300 years ago, it carried 2 humans to the deepest part of Earth's oceans. 11 kilometers down. Pressure, 1,086 times atmospheric. They spent 20 minutes on the seafloor, took photographs, and returned safely." The alien delegates stared in stunned silence. "Since then," Yuki continued, "we've built entire cities underwater, created submarines that routinely operate at crushing depths, and developed materials that can withstand pressures that would liquefy most known substances. What you see as a death trap, we see as—" She paused, searching for the right words. "Home," Sarah finished. 71% of Earth's surface is water. We've been diving, swimming, and exploring our oceans for millennia. Pressure doesn't terrify us, it challenges us." Counselor Vex-Hari leaned forward. "But surely the hostile environment is less hostile than space," Sarah pointed out. "At least water provides some protection from radiation, and there's always the possibility of finding life. Our oceans taught us that